better than the spirit of youth. The Secretary General and I had a chance to sit down with youth representatives from Vietnam and listen to their initiatives of how to contribute to innovation and sustainable development goals of the UN.
4 Vietnamese youths were selected to participate in the dialogue between United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Vietnamese youth. Ngọc Anh is one of the authors of the special reports published by Youth for Climate the 2 consecutive years, 2021 and 2022. At the same time, Ngọc Anh is also a member of the Youth for Climate Learning Hub and the future leader of the policy network, Youth for Climate. Lê Thu Trang is currently working at Non Nước Cao Bằng UNESCO Global Geopark. She is vice chair of the Youth Forum promoting Non Nước Cao Bằng Geopark. Meanwhile, Phùng Kim Quang is one of the young people who actively contribute to public health. Upon graduation from Hanoi Medical University, Quang became an officer of the World Health Organization, WHO. Captain Sammy Ngọc, the staff officer of Field Support Division, Vietnam Department of Peacekeeping Operations, is one of the first 10 Vietnamese female officers to be sent on duty at the Level 2 Field Hospital No. 1 at United Nations Peacekeeping Mission in Bentiu, South Sudan.
First of all, may I turn to you and ask you, UN Secretary General, how do you feel right now?
I'm extremely grateful for the very, very warm reception and by the feeling that the youth of Vietnam is able to move this country forward even more successfully than until now. So congratulations to the young people of this country for their dynamism, for their will to innovate and to participate.
Thank you so much. You mentioned about participation and dynamism, and I think dedication is also one important characteristic of youth. And speaking of dedication, I do not find anyone more appropriate than all of the UN peacekeepers sitting here in the audience, as well as our female UN peacekeeper here, Captain Sammy Ngọc. You look amazing in that uniform of UN peacekeeping.
On behalf of the Vietnamese military youth, I'm very honored and proud to be here today. I have deployed to the United Nations peacekeeping mission in South Sudan from October 2018 to end of November 2019. And this is also the first contingent that Vietnam sent to the UN PKO.
So can you tell us a little bit about what activities, professional tasks that you and your team deployed?
Since 2014, we have sent a total of 4 rotations of Vietnam Medical Hospital, more than 70 officers to work in different positions and bodies of the United Nations missions in South Sudan, Central African Republic, RBA areas, and also in the UN headquarters. Almost 60% of us are young officers, are members of Vietnam Military Youth Union, the Vietnam Youth Movement in the UN United Nations mission. Also have pioneered in many of the civic, civil military coordination activities. For example, we have the RPM that making school supplies and children's toys from the recycled items. Partnership team helping people to for repairing schools and also establishing the clean water supply. The mobile medical team to provide medical care and also teach the local on the personal hygiene. And maybe especially the agriculture team. We help teaching the local people on the cultivating techniques on how to grow their own vegetables and how to cook them properly to provide more nutrients. I think that this
What kind of vegetable did you teach them to cook?
many kind of vegetable, for example, the morning glory.
Morning glory.
Yeah, which is so good. Yeah. This is also reflects one of the long-standing traditions of Vietnam People's Army to building and consolidating the relationship between the people and the army. Our actions that go far beyond the code of duty is not only for supporting the lives of the local community, but also have inspired the local youth in master their future. Our contingent has a chance to go to the protection of civilian camps in Bentiu, South Sudan. And we never forget the intentions of a small local girl
enormous difficulties that they face is exactly what is needed for an effective peacekeeping operation. Now, what we heard is the best description of this principle. And it shows, probably because Vietnam has a long history, which those that fought for independence and then fought for unity were deeply rooted with the people. So that experience, I think, helps today's Vietnam peacekeepers understand that their role can only be effectively played if they are, to use an old expression, if they are in the population of South Sudan, in the population of Central African Republic or in RBA, like fish in water.
Thank you so much. So now we would move on to the second panelist, and he would bring to the table a different story, but also very interesting.
My name is Phung Kim Quang, and I am working for WHO Vietnam Consortium.
So Quang, I heard that during COVID time, you worked closely with the Ministry of Health and also WHO to directly involved in the fight against COVID-19. Can you tell us some stories that you remember the most from that time?
I experienced the power of youth during COVID-19. I was in the room with many of young people who developing that they are from the government, they are from outside the government, many of them are volunteers. This is a very challenging job, but we keep forward because that is what we need to get the job done. We have to have a better response for public health emergency like COVID-19. We need to end TB. So to achieve all of the objectives in the time frame that we agree upon each other, we need the system in place, we need the actor in place. And during my time in WHO, I recognize that both of these are very important. And for both of these to actually work, we need a trust between each other.
After listening to Quang's story, what do you think about the case of Vietnam health system?
You had a massive vaccination campaign, and based on that massive vaccination campaign, you were able to find an adequate equilibrium between the protection of the population against the COVID and the opening of the economy. And this is a very difficult balance that in many countries is not yet found. My life impression is that thanks to a very effective vaccination campaign that went all over the country, you were able to simultaneously protect the population and open the economy, allowing Vietnam's economy to be growing by more than 8% in the present year.
Thank you so much. Beside a pandemic like COVID-19, climate change is also an issue that I know is high on your agenda. And we have a lady here. Can you give us more details about the project that you are working on and the process of creating a report on climate change?
My name is Hong. I'm on the Climate Initiative. At the moment, I'm working with 20 youth to finish the second report for
Ngày 13 tháng 12 năm 2021, Ủy ban nhân dân tỉnh Lạng Sơn có quyết định thành lập công viên địa chất Lạng Sơn, gồm phạm vi hành chính của 5 huyện: Bắc Sơn, Bình Gia, Văn Quan, Chi Lăng, Hữu Lũng, với
Vietnam's Youth for Climate Initiative, and also to establish the Youth for Climate Policy Working Group. The 2022 special report will be coming out next week with the Ho Chi Minh Youth Union, with Monterey, and of course with UNDP. A sneak peek of the draft of the second report. I'm very, very proud of it because it was the combined effort of my friends, of my colleagues, and we worked really hard on this. So, Mr. SG, maybe you can give us the honor of receiving this gift from everyone who worked on this report together.
I just came from India, where together with Prime Minister Modi, we launched the program
that for next year. If you look at this, you'll see that most of our activities are for youth capacity building and empower youth voices. And our year will end after COP28, where we will summarize and work on the next report together.
Thanks to the creativity of the youth, like I and her team. So maybe it's a better way to spread the awareness about climate change and solutions to tackle it. I want to ask the UNSG a question about what you think the role of the young people, especially Vietnamese young people, in tackling climate change, and how do you view the country's efforts in the green transition?
Well, the truth is that young people has been driving global public opinion in a fantastic way. Young people are not only the owners of the future, young people are now also the owners of the present, driving the world in the fight against climate change.
I know that climate change is important, solutions to tackling it is very important, but also the preservation of biodiversity is important, equally important, I think. Today we have Chang from Cao Bằng province, and she's doing all she can to help promote and preserve her Cao Bằng.
They want me to have a good and basic education. So I work really hard on this. I live in Cao Bằng for 18 years, and I just live in Hanoi since I'm a DAB student.
Wow, so that's amazing. So now tell us a little bit about activities that you do. You have been doing at the Cao Bằng Geo Park.
In Cao Bằng, I joined the field trip to find out the existing problems of people there so that we can understand more and then find solutions to promote and enhance the livelihood of people in there. I also took part in filming a video for promoting the Cao Bằng Geo Park because we just get recognized for 4 years and people are not so well aware of what is a Geo Park and what is that for.
You've come a long way, and thank you. And I think it's a good opportunity for you to raise the voice and maybe speak for your friends and students in Cao Bằng province, and be a role model for them.
I mean, education at the level that we are talking about are still a minority, which means that those of us that have the privilege to have access to education have a duty in relation to those that have not the same access. And the duty is to use what we gain from our education to the service of those that have not the same privilege.
Thank you so much.
With the objectives of impact, creativity, courage, solidarity, and enthusiasm towards sustainable development, Vietnamese youth are making many positive contributions to realizing sustainable development goals. Many young people are willing to go to remote areas to teach volunteer classes to help provide quality education. In addition, concerning climate action, the young generation has implemented numerous projects such as planting trees, collecting trash to protect the environment. In particular, they have organized competitions and collective activities for young people to show their initiative in responding to climate change. While not only contributing to social goals, Vietnamese youth are active too in establishing partnerships. They are also making Vietnam's voice heard on global issues by actively participating in face-to-face and virtual forums and seminars. With the message, Vietnamese young people are the key agents for change and innovation towards the achievement of sustainability, resilience, and leaving no one behind. Vietnamese youth will continue to strive to achieve their goals and add value to the community. Festival of Literature was the first place His Excellency Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General, paid a visit to on the afternoon of October 22nd. His Excellency spent time learning about this historic site. He was especially interested in the history of the Imperial Academy, Vietnam's first national university. In the guest book, His Excellency Antonio Guterres left a note saying, "It is with deep emotion that I came here to visit this remarkable temple and university, a clear symbol of the rich history and cultural heritage of Vietnam." Visiting the Imperial Citadel of Thăng Long, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the UN Secretary General extended his regards to Vietnam for their efforts in restoring and preserving their historical and cultural values. His comments were especially apt as Vietnam has just celebrated 50 years of membership in the World Heritage Convention and 2 decades of research and excavation of the Imperial Citadel of Thăng Long.
Chúng tôi cũng rất là vui mừng là di sản Hoàng thành Thăng Long là một di sản hết sức quan trọng giữa lòng thủ đô, cũng đã được đón Tổng thư ký Liên Hợp Quốc đến thăm. Đây là một sự kiện hết sức quan trọng đối với chúng tôi và chúng tôi cho rằng đây là cái sự ghi nhận của quốc tế.
The last place His Excellency Antonio Guterres visited was Ngọc Sơn Temple. He was greeted here by Mr. Winston Phúc, State President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and Hanoi government leaders. While offering incense in Ngọc Sơn Temple, His Excellency UN Secretary General received a special gift.
Bây giờ tôi xin tặng quý ông là chữ Thế giới hòa bình, nhân dân hạnh phúc. Mấy hôm nay tôi đã nghe là ông Tổng thư ký đến thăm Hà Nội. Và hôm nay rất vinh dự được đón ông đến thăm Liên Sơn và tôi sẽ được những tặng chữ Thế giới hòa bình, nhân dân hạnh phúc. Cũng là nguyện vọng của chúng ta và của tất cả những người trên thế giới. Mong mọi người rằng cái mong đó sẽ được thực hiện ở trên toàn thế giới. Bắt đầu từ đây rồi đến mãi trên nhân kỳ này.
Though his time in Vietnam was short, the UN Secretary General left an impression of a single and friendly world leader. And certainly, the warm welcome of the state and the government and people of Hanoi must have impressed upon him the hospitality of Vietnam and the rich historical and cultural values of Hanoi, a civilized capital and a city for peace.
Vietnam has come a long way, and the journey continues. Once again, have the opportunity to be a powerhouse for change. The United Nations is proud to be your partner every step of the way. Tiên lên, cùng tiến lên. Onward, we advance together as we just heard in the Vietnam national anthem.